You've reached the activism portion of today's show. Now that you're informed and angry, here's what you can do about it. Today's activism: learn how to effectively fight and report hate in your community. Now, the recent horrific event on a train in Portland have left us all unnerved, and while there is kindness and love in this story, there is also the reminder that this is not an isolated incident. Across the country, hate groups have been rising and growing in their ranks for the last decade, and having Trump in the White House has only emboldened them. If you're feeling helpless and trying to stop the neo-Nazis, white nationalists, and other extremists advocating for violence and white supremacy, you should know there are solid steps and actions you and your community can take. 7 years ago, the Southern Poverty Law Center produced a publication, 10 Ways to Fight Hate, a community response guide. Now, despite its age, it's still extremely relevant. The guide sets out 10 principles for fighting hate, along with a collection of inspiring stories of people who worked to push hate out of their communities. So read it, share it, discuss it, practice it. You can access the direct link in the show notes or search for 10 Ways to Fight Hate, a community response guide at splcenter.org. If you witness or are the victim of a hate crime, first call the authorities, then help Southern Poverty Law Center monitor these incidents by submitting the details in a form on their website at splcenter.org/report hate. You can also use the hashtag report hate to share the link to this form with others and call out hate crimes on social media. And finally, Southern Poverty Law Center's Hate Watch blog monitors and exposes the activities of the American radical right with articles about the latest news and headlines regarding hate crimes and hate groups, as well as updates on the organization's pending lawsuits. One of the more recent articles highlights the disturbing surge in frequency of noose hate crime incidents, including 2 incidents in and near the African American History Museum in D.C. Now look, this is not the kind of news most people seek out. This is a dark, vicious side of our country that the privileged among us can easily pretend does not exist. But we have to push past feeling uncomfortable and get to the part where we ask ourselves what we can do to counter the message of hate. So go to splcenter.org to educate yourself and gather the tools we all desperately need to take up the fight. The segment notes include all of the links to this information as well as additional resources, and as always, this and every activism segment we produce is archived and organized under the Activism tab at bestoftheleft.com. So if standing up for each other and fighting hate is important to you, be sure to hit the share buttons to spread the word about effectively fighting and reporting hate with the Southern Poverty Law Center via social media so that others in your network can spread the word too.